Tim Wood here on MVC Sports today. Very excited to be talking to one of the weekly MVPs here on our sport by sport votes. Jessica Driscoll with the Methuen-Tewksbury Red Rangers girls hockey team. Jessica, how you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Very good. I really appreciate you joining us. So we're talking on Sunday. Tell us just a little bit about the game last night against HPNA.
Well, I think we started off really, really strong. It was 2-0 going into the third, and HPNA came back and scored 2 goals in the third period, and it ended up being 2-2 final, and then we went into overtime. But I think we were really, really fired up at that game. So, we were very pumped and really wanted to win. So, in the overtime, we were very, very, just get the puck in the net and be done with it.
So you guys have had the targets on your back here last 2-3 years here. And, HPNA's off to a hot start. And everybody, not just them, but I think a lot of folks felt like, okay, this might be the year we can get at them.
Yeah, I think so too. I think a lot of people think we lost key goal scorers, so they think this can be the year we can finally beat them. And I don't know, I think that just makes us even more pumped up and fired up to try and beat teams because they think we're going in as underdogs.
What, in terms of how have you guys handled losing that much output and just, folks like yourself, I won't say going from the background, but you're definitely more of a supporting and kind of picked your spots in terms of getting in on the scoring action. Now you guys are, it's like you guys are looking for that person, and you've become one of those people in terms of stepping into the scoring spotlight.
I think all of us really are just trying to get new roles, not necessarily new roles, but just trying to pick up the old roles that we lost. And I think just everyone's trying their best to get the puck in the net because obviously we lost some key scorers, so we're all just trying to be the ones to score.
Those first couple games kind of felt like, oh, gee, man, the net is this big,
Yeah.
And it felt like once you guys started, once a couple went in, once a couple hard ones got through, and then it's like the net became a lot bigger.
Yeah, honestly, it seemed like the net just got smaller over the summer or something. It seemed like we could not get the puck in at all, and then finally and I think that just kind of pumped us up even more and realized, oh, we can do this, and we got this.
It's like you're at a Bruins game, trying the intermission where they put the little slot there, right? to win tickets or something. The contest with the little slot in the goal. It's
literally, yeah.
In terms of yourself, when did you start getting into hockey?
I started in second grade, so 8 or 9.
And at that point, you're still playing with boys, right?
Correct, yeah.
Now, you started as a figure skater.
Yeah. I was when I was younger, I was always the dancer, the gymnast, the figure skater, and I just not me, so I was hockey, so I switched over.
You were watching. You said your dad played. Your older brother played.
Yeah.
And so you were watching them, and I'd rather be hitting.
Yeah, I literally he's 2 years older than me, so I literally grew up watching hockey because he started playing when he was 2. So from when I was born, I literally grew up watching hockey my whole life. So
well, Ryan started playing hockey when he was 2.
He started learn to skates and learn to play hockey. Yeah.
Oh, wow. And
my dad really got him into it because my dad was a goalie when he was younger, so he really got him into it.
Nice. So growing up around the ice, and what was that conversation like when you said you wanted to play hockey?
My dad was 100% let's go buy skates right now. Let's get all the equipment right now. My mom was a little hesitant. She was nervous about a girl playing with boys and stuff, but once I started to like pick up the game, she accepted it and she was like, actually, like, I like this.
So your older brother Ryan was killed in an accident in June 2019. Again, our condolences, and I really appreciate you coming on to talk.
Of course.
About just about hockey, and I gotta imagine hockey has been the respite and like the safe place, the happy place in getting back to life.
Yeah, like before I always loved playing hockey, obviously, but now like I have more to play for it, and it's like I don't know, I think like just playing for hockey just like reminds me of him more, just because it was our biggest competition and stuff between each other.
And you guys were very competitive.
Very, very competitive. Yes.
So I mean, you've got 9 goals now. I mean, what's that like in terms of just like you said when we were talking before, when you guys won the state championship, like he was like frenemy happy, kind of like
Yeah.
like
He was like, obviously he was like happy for me to
Yeah.
win, but he was very mad because he never won one, and like obviously I rubbed it in his face every day, and he did not like that at all.
I've got 3 older sisters, and especially my youngest, like we are like so competitive, so I totally get it. Now I mean now you kind of got a groove going here in terms of the scoring. I mean, are you thinking about him when you're able to put one in? Are you kind of keeping the competition going?
Yeah, every time like I've scored, I like think I'm like, haha, well, I scored now, haha, because in past years it would always be like him scoring and then me trying to like come back and like tie it up with him, but like this year I'm like, haha, I'm the one who scored, like not you. So
so you've got another competition going this year.
Yeah, Ryan's best friend from Central, he was like, just randomly before the season, he was like, we're gonna start a goal competition, like whoever wins has to buy the other person a present. So I was like, okay, I want a present, sure.
And who doesn't? Yeah.
And we started, and right now I'm beating him 9-7, and
that's
that's
Jake
Doucette.
That's Jake Doucette from Central, right?
Yeah.
How did that come up?
I think Ryan at one point had mentioned to him about, either Ryan or my dad had told him about our every year goal competition, and so he just randomly like texted me and he was like, we're gonna have a goal competition, and I was like, okay, never expecting, like I thought he would beat me like by miles, but as of right now I'm winning, which I was kind of surprised about. So
he had a couple last night, you had a couple, so you keep it up.
It's funny, yeah, every time like one of us will score, the very next game we'll tie it back up with each other. So like he'd score one and then the next game I'd score one and tie it. It's funny.
It's a nice extra motivation, right?
Yeah.
All right, so has like an official prize been set?
No, not yet.
All right, you better get him on the record, because you start getting 5-6 goals, that $25 prize goes down to about a $10 prize, goes down to a very weak Secret Santa sort of thing,
Yeah.
Well, we're on the record now, so he can't hide.
True.
Tell me, just in terms of what they had a memorial game in honor of Ryan to start the season. What was that like for you and your family, your mom Lisa, your dad Dennis?
It was really amazing just to see like how many people came out to support us. Like I think we all thought there was going to be like a decent amount of people, but we never expected the amount that there really was that night. Like there were like tons of baskets that people made for it, like crazy stuff people made. It was just really nice to see like how many people really supported us in like the hockey community and how like it brings everyone together.
Is that the best thing to have come from an awful thing as of yet, or have there been other things that have just kind of blown your mind?
This was one of them, the memorial game. I was amazed to see how many people, and his wake was really amazing too. Like I think they told us they stopped counting at like 3,000 people. Like it was crazy how many people like came out for that too.
Absolutely. In terms of your place on this team, now you're sophomore, but in terms of scoring, in terms of, I mean, you've taken on a leader by example position here on the team. I mean, tell me how this, like, so you've got, you're defending a state title, but at the same time you're an entirely new team. So
Yeah.
tell me how the team's coming together.
I think we're really just coming together, but like we're just trying so hard to be like put the pucks in the net because, like I said before, we lost key goal scorers from past years. So like all of us are just kind of trying to step up and like be the ones to score goals because we all know that we need them this year. So it's not like one key goal scorer. It's like all of us working together to get the puck in the net.
I mean, you started out with 2 ties, and then a tough loss against Longmeadow, and then at that point, probably the word starts. Okay, these guys are ripe for the picking, and then all of a sudden, boom, 4-game winning streak, and it's kind of like, maybe not.
Yeah. I
Um,
think
Go ahead.
I think we kind of have like a target on our back just because we are the defending state champs, and I think literally everyone wants to beat us. But I think that's just making us more fired up than we like ever have been. Like we're like, no, we want to win. Like no, it's our chance too.
How do you? I mean, you're sophomore, but you've been playing varsity since 7th grade. I mean, how does and it's not a unique thing on this team. Folks like Kaya and I mean Kaya I know of, but I know a lot of you guys started as soon as you could, pretty much.
Yeah. I think it just like I think a lot of people like when they're younger coming on to like a high school team, they're like nervous. But I think for me, like starting so much younger, I think it allowed me to not be as nervous as like other people maybe, just because I think like I don't know, like I'm not scared to rush it. I think now that I've had so much experience, like 4 years on the team, I think now like I'm like okay, like I can do this. Like I shouldn't be scared.
You're like an uber senior at this point, and yet you're only a sophomore, you know?
Yeah.
But I mean, you've been playing up since the beginning, playing against boys, and I mean, you've been playing up age groups and levels pretty much since the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Um, who else? Who's the biggest person you lean on in terms of pushing you on the team?
I think my line mate Ryan Quinn, I think we kind of like push each other, and a lot of times we end up like going against each other in practice and battle drills and stuff. And I think like the two of us really know like we like to just like push each other's buttons kind of to try and get each other to do better.
And so, I mean, Ryan had a bunch of assists against Acton Boxborough, but then got one of the goals yesterday.
Yeah, she did. She had a really pretty goal last night.
Nice. Tell me just in terms of what it's like with Kaya and Net, and just having that trust in a goalie, and knowing that you're always going to have that you're always going to have that keeping you in the game.
Yeah, I think it's really reassuring because like I don't know, I think it's reassuring to know that she's back there and that she'll come up big on like big saves that she knows she needs to make, and it's reassuring to know like that maybe if you make one mistake that she'll like be there helping you in the back in case like they take a shot, like knowing she's back there most likely saving the puck.
How does this work? I mean, obviously everybody knows there's a bunch of co-op teams, but I mean in girls MCL DCL, in terms of how does it work in terms of like you're playing with each other one day, you're at you're maybe at a basketball game against each other the next day, or a wrestling match with teams playing each other. How does the school spirit, how does that play into it?
I think like all of us have like some of the girls on the team are like our best friends, and we're just like even maybe their team wins, we'll be like, oh, okay, like good job, or like if we see them we're like, oh hey, what's up, like, and we'll hang out at the games and stuff. I think we've just like created really good friendships between Tewksbury and Methuen.
Oh, absolutely, and with swimming as well.
Yeah.
I don't, and a lot of success there between in those two programs alone. So that never hurts.
Yeah.
You play lacrosse as well. I mean, what's it like when when you got that moment in the game where you're up against Kaya or Brenna, especially with Methuen, and you're competing against each other, but yet you're teammates.
I think even though like we're teammates, we still obviously aren't gonna just like let them score or something. So we still play them just like normal. But then when like after the play or something, when we're not in the play, we'll like talk in between and we'll be like, hey, what's up? Like, how you doing? Haven't seen you in a while or something.
Talking to Jessica Driscoll from the Methuen-Tewksbury Red Rangers. All right, so alphabetically, yes, and I don't know if it sounds better, but I mean alphabetically, people say Methuen-Tewksbury. Is there any defensiveness in terms of like it's Tewksbury Methuen or?
No, I think either ways. I think
we're the Red Rangers.
Some people say Methuen-Tewksbury, some people say Tewksbury Methuen, but normally like when we talk about ourselves, we're like the Red Rangers.
Yeah,
we're not like
Rangers.
Methuen-Tewksbury, Tewksbury Methuen.
Sure.
So.
In terms of what's your favorite thing about hockey?
I think it's just like almost like a stress reliever, just like because I love playing so much, just getting on the ice, it's like everything else in my mind like goes away and I'm just focused like on the ice and stuff like that.
What's your least favorite part in terms of hockey?
My least favorite is probably like making a mistake. I know like obviously like it happens to everyone, but then I'm always like, shoot, like I need to fix this. Like I shouldn't have done that, or I shouldn't have done this. So I'm always like, oh, I shouldn't have done that.
You want to fix it right away.
Yeah.
Totally understand that from as both of one who played and now one who's coaching. I totally get that. In terms of obviously you're the defending state champions, but what has been the expectation here as you guys, starting the season, getting the chemistry in place? Obviously, you want to defend it. How are you guys feeling in terms of where you want to be?
Our goal is still to be back at the Garden again in March, just like last year. Like, no matter what, that's always going to be our goal, no matter we have the key players or not, but that's still our goal to do.
Kind of get spoiled, right? I mean, it's once you're there once, let alone twice. In terms of like the student athlete mix, how do you juggle the student, the athlete, kind of getting that mix right?
A lot of the times, like before practice, I'll be doing homework, or like Sundays is our day off, so I spend most of my Sunday doing my homework for school and just trying to get it all done.
I mean, is there any downtime?
A little. I tend to procrastinate and leave all my homework for Sunday, so I have like Saturday during the day and then the game at night. So.
Yep. Do you see yourself? I mean, I know you're a sophomore, but I mean, is there thought that you want to continue this in college, perhaps?
Yeah, I hope to.
Who do you? I mean, you're leading by example, but who do you look to the most in terms of leadership on the team?
I think all three of our captains. I think I look towards all three of them: Ryan, Brenna, and Kaya. I think they all like have a very like different voice, but each know like exactly like their role and know what to like say in between periods to get us all fired up.
Now, Lydia was kind of setting the pace earlier in terms of goals. You've kind of been taking. I mean, you were on a tear. 7 goals in 4 games?
I I
8
think
goals, maybe?
so.
Yeah,
8.
8. Okay, yeah.
8.
So you've been on a tear as of late. Is there that competition just on the team amongst you guys, or is it like, all right, whoever gets it in?
I think it's just whoever gets it in. Like, we're happy no matter who scores. Like, it's a goal on the board. It's no matter who it is.
Are you able to grasp, especially looking back on it now? I mean, obviously it's a new season, but are you able to grasp the enormity of what you guys pulled off last year?
Yeah, I think, like, going into the Garden, we were the underdogs, and we were able to, like, pull that one off. But now this year, it's like a new year. We don't have the same thing. So even though, like, that's always in the back of our head, this is a new season. It's not the same team. Like, that's still our goal, but it's just we're still trying for that.
Absolutely. All right. So I've taken enough of your downtime here on a Sunday. Any shout outs before I let you go in terms of just the folks that have helped you get to this point, and or friends, family, teachers, whoever?
The whole team, basically. I think, like, in practices, we're always, like, cheering each other on. Like, when we score, we're always, like, yelling and screaming, like, yay, one in, yay. And I think that, like, helps us because we all know, like, we're very excited to be, like, celebrate in a game rather than just in a practice.
And in terms of the vote, were you surprised in terms of the MVP vote?
Last year's?
Oh no, like the weekly the Sports Today thing, the Twitter poll. Were you surprised when like you won it?
I was a little surprised because I didn't think I would, but then, like, I looked at it, like, that day, and I was like, oh wait, there's, like, kind of a chance I might win this, and I was surprised. And my mom was actually the one who texted me, and she was like, wait, you're winning this. And I was like, oh, that's cool.
It's been fun. It's been fun to see. People are really getting into it, and I mean, people really got into it when we did it for football, and it's been the same with all the sports, and it's cool to see. It's just cool to see which schools come out, and everybody's like, oh, these co-ops have such an advantage, and because they got two schools voting. It's like, no,
Yeah.
Whoever gets the vote out, that's how it works.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on all the early season success. Just on the lead against Jake. We'll keep our eye on that. Any final thoughts just in terms of the season or anything else you want to get out there before I let you go?
I think I'm good.
Awesome. Jessica Driscoll from the Red Rangers girls hockey team, really appreciate the time and best of success here for the rest of the season. We'll be watching you here on MVC Sports Today.
Thank you.
Thank you.